Anytime now. Anytime now. Oh, shit. Oh, let's start. What is up, everybody? Shaggy here. Big one today. I want to make it short, sweet, concise. Big one today. We're playing a team that are in shambles right now, and they are looking to finally bounce back against us. But the Dons are not going to let that happen, are they? The Dons are not going to let them start the recovery against us, Dons. Nah. We're the best club in the world. We're going to get this done. Okay. I don't want to be too optimistic, but I feel like the Dons are going to do enough today. But, yeah, speaking of Ipswich, they're in shambles, like I said. Haven't scored a goal in their last 5 games, let alone win one. And that particular statistic was shown in... There's this guy named Alex Griffin. He is a huge Ipswich fan. I tuned into his channel just to see a little bit of insight on Ipswich as a whole, and then I went to the Ipswich YouTube channel to see like what's been going on with them lately. Because I noticed on the table, I'm like, what the hell's going on with Ipswich? Aren't they supposed to be a good team? But apparently their team just doesn't want, the players just don't want to play, right? It's just a lack of passion, a lack of desire. And the coach for Ipswich, I forget his name, the manager for Ipswich, Paul Cook, I gotta say, I respect the hell out of him. I've seen some of his interviews. He's a Liverpool man. He's passionate about the team. He wants the team to win. Even though he just started managing the team, he's already talking about, the boys need to do this. The boys need a revamping. Like they don't look good right now. He's an honest individual, and that's what I respect about him. So I feel like this Ipswich side will be okay in the long run as long as they get a couple of players out of there, get a couple players in, and they stick with this manager. I feel like they'll be fine in the long run. For now, though, short term, they look rough. So my final prediction for this one is actually going to be 2-1 Wimbledon, and I know that sounds very lenient considering Ipswich's recent woes, but I feel like today will be the day that Ipswich will start to bounce back. I say start to bounce back, though, because I still feel like the Dons will get the job done here. And who will be on the score sheet today? I feel like it'll be Joe Pigott will get one, and Ollie Palmer will get one. So if we look at the starting lineup here, actually, no. Ollie Palmer's not starting today. Instead, it's going to be Ryan Longman. I find that interesting. So I feel like it's going to be Joe Pigott. I still feel like Ollie Palmer's not on the team sheet, actually. I think he may be injured or something along those lines. So we'll see what happens there. Speaking of injuries, Terrell Thomas is trying to work his way back into the starting lineup. I think he played a little bit in that London Youth Cup game. So it's nice to see that he's coming back. And hopefully he makes his way into the starting lineup, maybe the last 2 games or so, just to solidify their place in EFL League One. Because Terrell Thomas was an absolute freaking tank before he got injured. So it's nice to see him start to pick up the pieces a little bit. But anyway, Guinness Walker on the left, Luke O'Neill on the right, Nightingale and Hennigan as the center backs, Dobson as the defensive mid, Rodoni, Woodyard center mids, Asal attacking mid, Pigott and Longman as the strikers. So kind of rocking the starting lineup that we threw out a few games ago against Ipswich. I think the only change is Ollie Palmer starting instead of Ryan Longman. So putting a lot of trust in the likes of Ayub Asal, Jack Rodoni as a center mid rather than a winger. We've been throwing out this particular lineup in this particular combination recently, and I feel like it's going to do wonders for us once again. So that being said, let me pull up the iFollow, as I may be a little bit late on this. They usually start the game maybe I shouldn't say 20 seconds, but the stream may be a little bit delayed, so I gotta start the stream a little earlier, guys. Maybe maybe like 10 minutes before. Usually I start 5 minutes before, and I usually just make it very concise. I talk about the starting lineup and whatever. Oh, I'm not signed in. That's the reason why I can't find the live match pass. I'm not signed in right now. That just shows you the difference between me and someone like Alex Griffin. He's got the countdown. He's got the fans in the background. He got a couple other background images while his countdown's going on. Me, I'm just like, oh, let me pull up the game. All right, here we go. All right. Referee blew his whistle. Moment of silence because racism will not be tolerated. I feel like that is a message that it doesn't even have to be from, the George Floyd protests and from other protests that arise. I feel like you can do that anytime, right? It's just a very potent and powerful message that could be delivered. Any sport can do this, really. It doesn't have to be football. But anyway, that being said, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Up the Dons. Let's get 5 in a row. Let's put this Ipswich side away. Come on, let's drive the dagger. I know I don't want to be like that, because I want to be consistent. In the past, I'd be like, I feel sorry for these fans. I feel sorry for Oxford fans for giving the lead away. But I gotta be, in the words of Mark Robinson, I gotta be a little more relentless. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Mark Robinson in his recent interviews has talked about how Wimbledon needs to be relentless. They need to keep up the pressure, keep up the momentum. They can't coast off of a 2-game, 3-game, 4-game win streak. And so this is a new and rejuvenated Wimbledon side. This is not the Wimbledon back then that would lay down to the likes of Plymouth Argyle after going 4-2 up. So we'll see how it goes. Ooh, a little bit of a aerial battle won there by Ipswich. They're trying to make a move on the right-hand side with number 17. Nice tackle there by Ayuba Sal coming back defensively. So let's see if he can create something. He's still on the ball, trying to go down that left-hand side, trying to be dangerous, but forced to play it back to the back four. And Rodoni trying to make a run up there with the long ball, but nothing doing there. Interesting. Rob Cornell in commentary talking about Dave Cornell in goal for Ipswich. I don't think they're related, though. Anyway, let me pull up the team sheet here for Ipswich so that I do not get lost in commentary, so I do not repeatedly say number 32, number 7, number 21 for Ipswich Town. I want to make sure I'm as accurate as I am with the commentary. That being said, nothing too interesting happening the first 2 minutes of the game. It's basically both teams winning a lot of the midfield battles. Let me pull up the stats, though, for Ipswich Town so that I'm also a little bit more in the know of the team. So, leading goal scorer right now, James Norwood for Ipswich. That's a player that's been around for a while. I think he has some experience in the Premier League from what I know. He's not in the team sheet at the moment, though. So their next leading goal scorer is going to be Guyon Edwards with 5, and he is their right winger, their number 7. So expect him to be dangerous. But other than that, I don't really know too much about Ipswich currently. I know that they have a lot of history in the Premier League back in the early 2000s, contending for top 5 positions consistently. In the early 2000s slash 90s. After probably the mid 2000s, they kind of fell out slowly but surely over time. Yeah, James, that's a bit of a kind words. I truly appreciate that, saying thanks for dropping the 2 letters. You're the number 1 Don social media man. So I feel like kind words there. Very kind words for sure. I don't think I'm the number 1 social media man. Maybe the number 1 YouTube man. Anyway, that being said, cross being played into Will Nightingale puts the header in around the 6-yard box. A little bit too underneath the ball though, and it goes over the bar. But anyway, going back to that same topic, I wouldn't say that's too that's too much of an accomplishment, because there aren't that many AFC Wimbledon YouTubers that cover the team consistently, and that's actually one of the reasons why I got into this live streaming / live reaction business, is that I haven't really seen any AFC Wimbledon YouTubers out there. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I take it upon myself to just do exactly that, to be like an Alex Griffin for Ipswich, and be like a very biased opinions for an Oxford fan, and why don't I just be the quote unquote AFC Wimbledon mascot? I have iFollow. I bought iFollow in the beginning of the season. I bought the yearly subscription because I am a Dons fan. I'm like, you know what? I'm a personality in the Mario Kart scene, hence why I had Jaggy MK as my YouTube channel. I am a caster over there, and I do cast a little bit of Smash Ultimate as well. So why don't I cast my favorite team, the best team in the world, AFC Wimbledon? Anyway, that being said here, I feel like in the early knockings of the game, even though Ipswich haven't scored in their last 5 games, which is an absolutely crazy, bizarre stat line, because when you think of Ipswich, you think of, a former Premier League team and a team that could easily contest for the playoff spot in any given season in EFL League One. They haven't scored in the last 5 games. So far, though, they've been knocking around decently. That being said, I say that being said a lot. Wimbledon try to knock it forward to Joe Pigott. Common target man, especially with Ollie Palmer not in the rotation this time around. They're going to be knocking it forward to Pigott every now and again. You don't want to be too direct, though. You don't want to be hoofing it upfield to him too often like we did in the beginning of the season and in a couple seasons prior. They would knock it forward and be like, go Pigott, go get the ball, do your thing. We'll see, though. Yeah, not available this afternoon, Ollie Palmer. Also, Ethan Chislett still not fully recovered from his injury, and Terrell Thomas also still not fully recovered, both of which, though, could easily make their way to the starting lineup. Maybe 2 or 3 games left within the season, maybe too little too late, but not too little too late in their overall season standings, though, because they're 5 points above Northampton Town. I'm going to be keeping a hawk eye on that game, by the way, in case AFC Wimbledon for whatever reason, don't do well in this game. We have that game to look at. I don't think Northampton are going to continue off of that 3-0 win against Ipswich. By the way, 3-0 win against Ipswich. Alex Griffin, let's just say, was not happy, to say the very least, about that game. Dropping a game 3-0 to Northampton Town is atrocious. It's absolutely appalling. No flack trying to be given to Northampton Town, but they really are not the type of team that would beat Ipswich 3-0, especially they're the lowest goal-scoring team in the goals for category in the entire league. So definitely not a result that Ipswich wanted there. Couple headers won by both sides here, and a first-time ball played by Alex Woodyard, intended for Joe Pigott, but the pass was cut off there. They are playing Gillingham, Northampton, and Gillingham are a bit of a spotty side themselves, but throughout the course of the season, law of large numbers, across 44 games, they're in 9th position, so they are a decent side on their day, with 59 goals for, 57 goals against, and hopefully they can get a win over Northampton, because that would really solidify AFC Wimbledon's place in EFL League One, especially if the Dons can get a win here. Ooh, nice ball played forward, but that's another... Okay, so already a couple of offsides so far for Ipswich. AFC Wimbledon so far playing a good line to keep the likes of Edwards and Bennett, who are going to be probably making those runs, trying to be dangerous. So far, Wimbledon holding a good line to keep them offsides. That's the second or third offside call so far in this game. Again, knocking it forward to Pigott, though. That's going to be a bit of a pattern. Every now and again, if we can't find anybody, if we can't knock it around, can't find a Sal who can maybe find Longman or Pigott. Again, Pigott, though. Ball lumped forward by, I think that was Will Nightingale, over to Joe Pigott. Back to Ryan Longman, who tries to play a ball into the box, but kind of shanks it. Easy collection there for McGuinness. And it's going to be a throw-in for Ipswich after a deflection off of Ryan Longman. Very important game, by the way. I just have to reiterate that point. Very important game for both sides. Looks to me like Joe Pigott was able to pick up the ball. Outside run being made by Jack Redoni, who puts it back into George Dobson at the top of the box, who tried to get a shot, and it was deflected. Ball pumped back into the box, intended for Ayuba Sal. Not the player that you want to play necessarily in the air, but that's who it ended up finding. And it's going to be a corner kick for AFC Wimbledon. That's going to be the first Giazzo of the game, ladies and gentlemen. I will clip that and send it to you guys in the chat. Yeah, it was ground cross from Redoni to Woodyard and Woodyard to Dobson. Shot was deflected. Ball was pumped back into the box. That intended target actually was Joe Pigott, but it went over his head. Nassau was trying to chase that, but corner kick here for the Dons here. First corner of the game. Can they capitalize? That header cleared, deflected, but not deflected far enough. Jack Redoni tried to get a left-footed effort. That one was blocked, though, and it looks to me like a foul was committed inside the box just after the shot there. Another opportunity for the Dons. Ipswich back line kind of holding firm, but not firm enough to prevent the shots, firm enough to block the shots and get in the way. But hopefully AFC Wimbledon can keep up this pressure. Anyway, now this time Ipswich are going to be on the attack with Hawkins on that right-hand side, lumping the ball into the box. Usually he is the target man for Ipswich. So that being said, they aren't able to win the header because usually, it's like I said, it's Hawkins winning that one, trying to be on the end of that one. So AFC Wimbledon do win the header, but it is going to be a corner kick for Ipswich. A short corner here. They're going to try to knock their way around. Hawkins on the cross there couldn't win the header after the cross was intended for him. AFC Wimbledon clear their lines. And another offside, actually. Hawkins was in an offside position to begin with. So, yeah, offside tally really building up right now for Ipswich Town. Let me get those Giazzos for you guys. First opportunity for the Dons here. It was Joe Pigott who ended up picking off I couldn't quite tell who he picked off, but he ended up picking it off somebody for a turnover. Played an outside ball over to Jack Redoni on the overlap, and that was the first opportunity. And then the second one came off of the corner kick, kind of a half chance to start off with the initial header clear, which wasn't fully cleared, and then a half chance turned into a full chance. So, I missed something on commentary. Holy shit. Okay, let me rewind 10 seconds. Oh, okay. Okay. It was a ball over the top intended for Ryan Longman, and the header back to the goalkeeper was botched, and Ryan Longman almost got on the end of that one. It was almost a gift, akin to a Charlton Athletic their second goal that they gave up off of a short goal kick. It was a ball played over the top, and the first header back was kind of botched, and Ryan Longman found himself on the end of it at the top of the 18-yard box, but Ipswich were able to come away with that. It was McGuinness with that initial mistake, but McGuinness was able to pick off Ryan Longman after Longman's first touch. So a sigh of relief being breathed there by Ipswich fans, and I'm sure Alex Griffin, who right now I actually have on my phone, just in case something interesting happens, I'll pull him up on the commentary. I'll maybe not pull him up on the live stream. I'm not going to play him out loud because I don't want to be that person where I'm like, ha ha, but I'll keep an eye on him, and if he... Yeah, let me put him on the headphones. I don't want to be that person. But if he flips his shit live on stream, I'll be able to hear it. So If you're a Wimbledon fan, comment down below. Say AFC Wimbledon. AFC Wimbledon. Seems like a nice guy. Go ahead and check him out if you haven't already. I feel like he's a little bit more adept at commentary than I am. But anyway, 1-2 played by Ipswich on the right-hand side, and now we're going to be seeing a shanked shot, actually, from Bennett. It was a nice 1-2 played between, I think that might have been Dozel and Bennett. And Bennett was making a run. Nobody was picking him up initially as Luke O'Neill was beat on that 1-2. Ben Hennigan came as a support man, but Bennett's completely shanked that one. It was a letdown, really, from Bennett's. Decent opportunity there from Ipswich, and they failed to capitalize. Let me get that Chiazzo for you guys. Yeah, no, that's poor. That's actually poor. Well, I'm 10 seconds behind, just letting you guys know. So, Jack Redoni playing the ball to the right-hand side to Ryan Longman. He's looking to be dangerous, going to be looking to use his pace. He puts the ball in to the top of the 6. It was a bit of a chipped cross, kind of a high-hanging cross there. Ayuba Sal tried to get on the end of it with a volley there, and the ensuing shot there was blocked and put out for a corner kick. So AFC Wimbledon looked to me like the more dangerous side early. I said in the first 5 minutes that Ipswich were knocking it around, but it looks to me like the Dons are getting on the end of a couple of half chances / full chances right now, and the corner kick is going to be swung in, punched away by the goalkeeper, headed out by Ipswich, picked up by Ayuba Sal once again. He's going to be playing it to the left-hand side here to Luke O'Neill. An overlapping run intended. It's actually Ayuba Sal, after he played it over to Luke O'Neill, he made an overlapping run. Looked to me like he was going to receive that, but Luke O'Neill instead played it into the box, and nobody was able to get a clean head on it. Initially, it was Ryan Longman who got his header on the ball, but it was way underneath and high and over the bar there, over for a goal kick for Ipswich. Swindon losing to Fake Dons, and Northampton down 1-0 as well. So good results right now. So in case this result holds up, in case they do get a draw to Ipswich, which would be kind of a letdown. If you were to have a gun pointed to my head and say that Ipswich would, lose 3-0 to the Dons and then also have another shit result against the Dons, fail to win 6 games in a row, I would tell you that you're crazy, because it is Ipswich Town after all. They have the capability of making that top 6, or let alone, just getting promoted in general. But kind of like a Sunderland, they fail to capitalize on certain situations. Sunderland are known as the draw, the 1-1, the 2-2 team. Anytime they okay, here we go. Alex Woodyard picking off someone in the midfield there. Back to Joe Pickett, back to Woodyard on the right-hand side. He plays it off to Jack Redoni around the penalty spot, but he doesn't get a clean connection with his left foot. Golden opportunity. Golden opportunity there for the Dons. Oh, man. Sorry, I had to stop my commentary there because I realized that I think I woke my mother up there. Shit. Oh, she's storming in. Anyway. That was such a golden opportunity. Oh. You've got to do better there if you're Jack Redoni. Sorry, I was a little too loud there. Yeah. Alex Griffin and company are dumbfounded right there that AFC Wimbledon didn't score there. Jack Redoni punching the ground after that effort, and it's just, it's definitely a chance. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Definitely a chance that Jack Redoni should have put away. That being said, I got to keep it down a little bit, so apologies for that. Woodyard plays it over to Radoni. Can he redeem himself maybe with a play here? No. Tries to play it over to Piggott at the top of the box, but the pass wasn't put with enough conviction there. Luke O'Neill with the ball, though. Jack Radoni holding it up, playing it back to Luke O'Neill. Decent strike there from Luke O'Neill, but beaten away by the goalkeeper there. Sorry, I do have to be a little bit quiet right now. But, yeah, Jack Radoni there. Playing the hold up this time around. Plays it back over to Luke O'Neill, who initially played the ball up to him. And Luke O'Neill, if you give him an inch, he will put it towards goal. He will either put a cross in, or he will, take an effort at goal. And Luke O'Neill, every now and again, maybe not the most pacey individual, not the type of person that you'd see constantly adding to that offensive threat. But if you do give him a chance, he will play a good ball in, or he will take a chance towards goal there, and that's exactly what we saw there from Luke O'Neill. The ensuing corner, though, didn't really provide too much of a threat for Ipswich, as a couple of headers won by both sides, and then half chance was petered out. Goal kick here for Ipswich. Ubasal making that run upfield, forcing the goalkeeper. Long ball, forcing the goalkeeper to come off of his line and try to clear. But the clearance wasn't the best one. Joe Piggott finds himself at the top of the box, creates some space for a shot. Shot deflected. But on the knockdown, it finds Guinness Walker. Guinness Walker puts in the cross. Nice first chest touch by Joe Piggott. Couldn't create enough space for a shot, though. I thought for sure he would, but I think he was deemed to have been offside. Yeah, deemed to have been offside regardless. No, it's a penalty. It's a penalty for AFC Wimbledon. Guys, at first I thought it was offside because the referee was just walking. He didn't even point to the spot. He just blew the whistle. Guys, it's a penalty for the Dons. I thought it was a little soft, but Joe Piggott was complaining about him being held. I thought it was a little soft, to be fair. But the Dons penalty was saved, guys. I'm sorry, I was pulling up the Giazzo. The penalty was saved. Joe Piggott, 4 for 4 from the spot before this, and the penalty was it was a poor penalty, really. It was straight at the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was able to beat it away with his foot, and then the rebound from Joe Piggott was unable to be put away as well. Oh, boy. That's poor. That is absolutely poor if you're Joe Piggott. Right down the middle. Easy save for the goalkeeper, Cornell. Yeah. I mean, ball don't lie, to be fair, quote unquote. It's a terminology that we like to use here in the U.S., basically saying that, if you get a call towards you that was unfair, you're not going to get rewarded as a result. So, I mean, it was kind of soft. I think Piggott did get held back. If it were outside the box, maybe it would be called 9 times out of 10. But inside the box, it's like that 50-50. Do you call that? Do you not call that? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like that's a 50-50 call there. But still, I feel like it was a bit soft. Joe Piggott, though, wasn't able to put away the penalty, unfortunately. I did say in a couple streams when Joe Piggott scored the penalty against Swindon, when he scored the penalty against Oxford, I did say that he doesn't have the best track record from the spot. Not this season, though, as he was 4 for 4 from the spot before that. So Joe Piggott missing his first penalty of the season, unfortunately, and it comes at a very important time, too. Could have easily gone 1-0 up against Ipswich, and that would have essentially set the tone, really, especially against an Ipswich side that are very depleted. And, in these past 5 or 6 games, whenever they do go down, they tend to let their heads drop, and they tend to lack character. So we'll see if AFC Wimbledon can find another opportunity to capitalize on. That being said, Ipswich knocking around here pretty nicely, and it does find its way to Hawkins, but Walker just hounding that ball from that left-hand side, just running, just sprinting to make that tackle, as initially it was Ben Hennigan that was beat. So nice to see Walker with that effort to come in, slide in, and slide in and beat that ball away for a Ipswich throw here. Sorry, I'm not the best on commentary right now. I'm kind of slow today, so don't mind me, guys. Ball pumped up to Joe Piggott as the target man here, trying to find somebody on the overlap. Instead gets fouled at the top of the midfield line. Yeah, it was initially Bishop that came up from the center attacking mid position and was able to play a decent ball into Hawkins, but Walker came with a sweeping run to defend that potential threat. Well, Nightingale plays it up to Walker. The ensuing cross was blocked here for a throw-in next to the corner flag here. Yeah, usually you like to see Che Alexander on the end of this, as he does possess a long throw threat here. Walker, I think, does have a long throw as well, though, so we'll see what happens here. Unfortunately, the Ipswich ground is not very forgiving. You don't have that much room to make a long throw, and that's something that I've noticed with a lot of grounds in the lower tier sides and maybe a couple of championship sides, is that the distance between the touchline and the outside wall, or I should say inside wall of the stadium, is probably a good 3 yards. Doesn't give, teams like Stoke City, who have been historically good at long throw set pieces, you don't really give them too much flexibility to do that long throw. And so, yeah, nothing came of that, by the way. Nobody was able to get a flick on, and it was an easy clearance from Ipswich, and now AFC Wimbledon find themselves knocking around the back, trying to play it up to Joe Piggott again, but instead the ball was high and away to that left side. Bit of a poor ball intended for Piggott there. But it's been a bit of a pattern so far. Ball being hoofed up to Piggott quite a bit, being very direct this time around, trying to take advantage of the depleted Ipswich side, trying to get at them right away. Instead of knocking around, they're trying to play it direct and trying to make a statement here. But so far, I don't really think it's doing the Dons too much of good here, as Joe Piggott can only do so much, I'd say. Again, for those of you coming in, I may have to be a little bit quiet for this stream, as I have to pay some respects to my mother, as it is 7:30 a.m. currently, and I don't want to be too loud. That being said, though, ball played high and forward to Bishop for Ipswich, and Walker committing the foul there. So a free kick around the right-hand side of the 18-yard box, about 20 yards out from the goal frame, I'd say, right along that 18-yard line on that right-hand side. And we'll see if the likes of either Hawkins, or looks to me like that's going to be Wolfenden coming up from the back line. So we'll see if one of them is going to get a header towards goal for Ipswich. For those Ipswich fans out there, they need a goal. No goal in the past 5 games for Ipswich. Can they rewrite their wrongs? Can they finally break the curse here off of this free kick? No, they will not. It was a nice header clear there by Joe Piggott. Back over to Bishop, though. Ipswich are going to reset. Oof. Ball was played over to Bennett, who was essentially playing a hold-up player there, trying to play it back over to Hawkins on that right-hand side, but that second pass was a very poor one. That second pass actually was intended for Dozel, not Hawkins. I only know so much about Ipswich. I got to look at the team sheet and the numbers and whatnot. But yeah, Ipswich with the ball once again here on that left side. Plays a through ball intended for number 17 there, but Ben Hennigan was able to cut it off after Guinness Walker was initially beat there with that through ball. It's nice to see that Wimbledon have good defensive shape in case one player is beat, in case, Luke O'Neill. There was one instance in which Luke O'Neill was beat on that through ball, and Ben Hennigan came in. Didn't commit the tackle, but it was that shanked shot that Bennett's had. Also another example, Nesta Guinness Walker coming from the right side all the way to the center to block an ensuing run from Hawkins, and Hawkins could have maybe put it towards goal there, but nice to see that AFC Wimbledon on the second effort, they're the ones willing to put their body on the line and make that commitment to try to stop the threat there. And also another offside here, I think that might be the fourth one for Ipswich Town. Ball was intended for Bennett, and it looked to me like he would have been clean through on goal with that little chipped ball through the air, but another case in which AFC Wimbledon's back line hold firm. Yeah, other results going around the league, very, very good results around the league. As, last time out, last week, Wigan, Rochdale, Northampton, all got good results. They all won alongside AFC Wimbledon, so it was kind of a tough pill to swallow. I truly thought that if the Dons were to have gotten a win against Oxford that last time, that they would have been well and clear. I mean, the title of my live stream was "One More Win and We're Safe." One more win and we're not safe, guys, because those results were not the most favorable. But yeah, Wigan down 1-0, Northampton down 1-0, Swindon down 1-0. This is looking very good for the Dons. Joe Piggott gives it away on that right side, and number 2 for Ipswich trying to make a run, but Joe Piggott holds him back there. So not the best start here for the Pigs. Has a lot of targets so far as the ball was played up to him several times. A couple times he knocked it back to the likes of Asal and Longman, but didn't convert that penalty, and it looked to me like a moment of frustration there for Joe Piggott. So hopefully he can kind of shake off these first 30 minutes, and hopefully the Joe Piggott that we all know and love will come out today. And so it looks to me like Ayub Asal really hounding that midfield, is able to pick off the ball here. Now it's back over to Alex Woodyard with Luke O'Neill making a run on that right-hand side. The ball wasn't played through, but it was played square to Luke O'Neill, but the ensuing cross was a wayward one. Very poor cross, as I think he slipped on that effort, and it's going to be high and over the goal for a goal kick to Ipswich. So 30 minutes in, I'm trying to think of who would make a difference here. Shannon Harrison, by the way. Shannon Harrison is in the bench. He did play for that AFC Wimbledon Youth Cup game, and Shannon Harrison finally back from injury. I mean, we've had a couple of knockings, couple of injuries. Darnell Johnson still out, Ethan Chislett still out, Terrell Thomas still out. So it's nice to see that we're slowly starting to recover those players that really made a difference in the middle of the season. I truly thought that once Darnell Johnson went down, and Shannon Harrison, who was a skipper that in his first game, his first touch, actually didn't even get to see a first touch as he got injured off of a through ball attempt. And, I truly thought that Wimbledon were kind of depleted with Ethan Chislett going on injury as well. But the Dons really rallied forward and came up with that 4-game win streak. And very nice to see that the Dons didn't fold under the pressure and didn't continue their scoring woes, as they were one of the worst teams in the league in terms of goals for up until that point. So yeah, Shannon Harrison going to be looking to come in maybe second half in case the likes of Jack Rodoni, Ryan Longman, Ayub Asal aren't able to create anything. Although I am impressed with what I'm seeing with Ayub Asal so far. I think Ayub Asal probably is the most active player off the ball. He has been the most active player off the ball this game, and generally speaking, he is the most spry, if you will, out of all these players. He's always going to be looking to make that run off the ball constantly, and that's what I like about Ayub Asal. Anyway, Ipswich knocking around a little bit here with Downs on the ball here. Back to Dozel. Nicely done there by Luke O'Neill to cut off the pass, but Looks to me like Ipswich find themselves on the ball once again. Long shot effort, way over the bar there from, I think that was Bishop that took the shot there. So goal kick coming in for AFC Wimbledon. Shannon Harrison, Jaakko Oxenen, Shane McLaughlin, Matthew Cox, Paul Kalambai, and Paul Ossiu, and Che Alexander. Whoops, I forgot about him. All on the subs today. We could see, once again, Shannon Harrison coming off the bench. We could see Shane McLaughlin as a little bit more of a seasoned player. Maybe have Shane McLaughlin come in over Shannon Harrison first, as he is more of a seasoned individual, in case this result holds, in case Wimbledon don't really create anything, have a hard time, creating some chances. Jack Redoni doing a good job defensively there, tracking back defensively, able to not necessarily pick the pocket of Vincent Young there, but actually he was able to put his foot in and it went off of Vincent Young. So it's going to be a throw-in for Wimbledon here. Nice to see Redoni making use of, making himself useful, not really doing the best in terms of chance finishing, so he's able to track back defensively and provide there. That being said, though, Ipswich on the ball here. Trying to knock it around, hoofs it upfield, but nobody home there for Ipswich. As AFC Wimbledon did hold a pretty high line there. That ball was intended for Hawkins, but it was way up and over Hawkins there. Wimbledon are really playing a high line here. Higher line than I'm usually used to seeing. Again, though, Ayuba Sal picking the pocket of... Who was that? I couldn't quite see. But anyway, Ayuba Sal playing it over to Dobson. Dobson playing over to that left-hand side to Nesta Guinness-Walker. High and over everybody's head, but Longman is able to pick it up on that right side. Unfortunately slips, though, as he took that first touch. He was running towards the touch line. First touch towards goal does slip, so he does get his pocket picked. And it's going to be a throw in here for Ipswich Town. Just pulling up the Alex Griffin live stream just to see if he has anything to say here. I've noticed something, actually. I've noticed something about my commentary is that, I don't want to make it too much about me. I want to make it about the game. But right now, Ipswich are kind of just knocking around the back four. Okay. They played to the left-hand side here. The ensuing cross was not the best one. It was blocked by Luke O'Neill, but he wasn't able to get his body fully behind that. It's going to be a corner kick for Ipswich. But I noticed that in my commentary at times, I try to fill the silence a little bit by quote-unquote talking out of my ass. I say that quote-unquote because I don't try to do that, but I notice I tend to do that every now and again. But silence is okay as long as it's in a case in which, a team is setting up for a free kick or setting up for a goal kick or knocking around the back four a little bit. Silence isn't too looked down upon, as long as for the most part your commentary has some value, has some weight to it. So I'll try not to talk too much. I'll only try to get some of the most important points out. So that being said, the corner kick didn't really come. Nothing really came of that. So the ball is going to be reset back to the goalkeeper, Cornell. Not related to Rob Cornell, by the way. Pickett played it long to Ryan Longman, but on that right-hand side, cross came in, intended for Jack Redoni. Instead, it was picked up by the center back there. Had he not stuck his foot out, because initially his momentum was carrying him towards goal, kind of just turned around, stuck his leg out, and was able to control it. So it was nicely done there from, I think that was McGuinness. So had that not happened, actually it was Jack Rodoni on the run there that could have picked it up around the 12-yard box, around the same area that he kind of shanked that shot, but it would have been with his weak foot, if anything, if he were to have wrapped his foot around. He is left-footed, from what I know. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, both sides here, neither side look... I mean, they look... Okay, let me rephrase that. Neither side looked super dangerous at the moment, but it's not to say that this game is super boring and they're not creating any chances. Wimbledon with pretty much one clear-cut chance so far, with Jack Rodoni at the top of the... around the midfield stripe, and he tried to wrap his foot towards that far post, but unfortunately wasn't able to get a clean connection on that. Ipswich, nice ball played forward to Joe Pigott. His first touch let him down, though, and the defender's going to come in and sweep the ball away from him. It's going to be a corner kick for the Dons. It was initially a really nice ball played forward by Nesta Guinness-Walker, kind of a little chip pass, head height, fell very nicely to Joe Pigott. His first touch, unfortunately, let him down a little bit, and the defender was able to sweep it away and clear it for a corner kick. We'll get that Giazzo here. It will be... I thought for sure it would be Luke O'Neill taking the corner kick here. Actually, no, the corner kick is already gone. I went to live as I came off of the Giazzo. So it's going to be Ayuba Sal with a long throw, actually. And that's a really long throw. That went all the way to the top of the 6, but the header was won by Ipswich rather than Wimbledon. It's going to be cleared away, but Wimbledon pick it back up once again here with Ryan Longman. He's found himself on that wide area quite often. Even though he is a striker, he's finding himself hooking out wide to make runs and to receive the ball out wide. Nesta Guinness-Walker on the left-hand side here, trying to use his pace, trying to beat number 15 there. Bishop, actually, who came back from that center attacking mid position. By the way, that corner that I was talking about that I ended up missing out on, it was actually Will Nightingale that won the knockdown, but unfortunately Ben Hennigan wasn't able to he was the person that was most likely to win that second effort, but unfortunately wasn't able to get his foot on that, as the ball was closer to the Ipswich man than it was to the nearest Dons man, Ben Hennigan. So they were able to clear their lines for a throw-in, and that throw-in came in from Ayuba Sal. Another effort in which Ipswich won defensively. So Ipswich doing a very good job right now defensively, winning the headers and preventing the Dons from really capitalizing on these opportunities. We did see Will Nightingale getting a header towards goal against Ipswich last time out. That 3-0 victory against Ipswich, he did win the header there. But so far, Ipswich doing a very good job of winning the aerial battles, both defensively and I'd say in the midfield as well. I think they're doing a slightly better job of winning the aerial battles in the midfield. So that could play a factor going forward for Ipswich if Ipswich can continue winning these aerial battles, and potentially, I wouldn't say they're going to ward off Joe Pigott and Ryan Longman all the time, because it looks to me like they are trying to break that back line. So if we're going to play, maybe if we play a little less direct, maybe a little bit less over the top, maybe a little bit more towards the ground, we can knock it around a little bit. Maybe find Joe Pigott on a through ball run, or Ryan Longman on a through ball run. I think the Dons would certainly benefit from that. That being said, Ipswich trying to break that Wimbledon back line, but it looks to me like Ayuba Sal once again defensively coming away with it. Ayuba Sal, when you think of Ayuba Sal, you think of a skipper making those off-the-ball runs offensively, but he has been tracking back defensively. To be fair, it was a corner kick, so you need to have numbers back. But the initial header away was met by a shot attempt there by number 7, Edwards. And Ayuba Sal, it was actually Nesta Guinness-Walker who came away with it initially, and then Ayuba Sal coming away with that, making a run, trying to create something there. So Yeah, Ipswich, I feel like, are the more potent side right now on the set pieces. I feel like they're going to be a little bit more dangerous offensively, and then, of course, defensively winning those headers, not allowing the likes of Will Nightingale and Ben Hennigan to get on the end of those headers. So, ball on the right-hand side here to Jack Redoni. Can he create something with his skill, potentially? Plays it back over to Luke O'Neill. The cross was a poor one, but the Dons will still come away with it here. Back over to George Dobson. Plays a nice ball over to that right-hand side to Luke O'Neill. Has plenty of space to put the ball in. Cleared away, though. Again, Ipswich winning those aerial battles, although this time it was a clearance with the foot thumped away, as it was hip height, not head height. Guinness Walker plays it over direct to Joe Pigott, but Joe Pigott wasn't in offside position there. And, yeah, good point. Wigan did equalize. Yeah, they did equalize. Burton are kind of an interesting one. They started off the season rock bottom, but now they find themselves, 51 goals for, 74 goals against. They are the second worst team in goals conceded, and probably around maybe like the 6th or 7th highest team in terms of goals for, but they find results. That's all that matters in the end, is the W, and they find themselves in 16th with 53 points, well above the relegation zone, 10 points above, 10 points clear, and Wigan, finding the equalizer against them. Wigan have won their last 4. And so they have kind of found the fountain of youth, kind of like AFC Wimbledon, and Rochdale winning 3 in a row as well. So first half has finished. I apologize, that wasn't really the most, what's the word for it? Not the most engaging half for me in the commentary. Both sides trying to be dangerous, both sides with several half chances, but the only real chance of the game came with Jack Redoni finding himself on that penalty spot area, and a couple of half chances from either side. I think for AFC Wimbledon, the most dangerous piece right now has been Ayoub Assal making those off-the-ball runs. He hasn't found the ball too much, though. I really hope that AFC Wimbledon can play it towards him a little bit more. Feed the beast in Ayoub Assal. Ryan Longman has found himself on the ball quite a bit on that right-hand side, too. Kind of close to the touchline, too. He likes to hook outside to receive the ball. Maybe not a through ball, per se, but he wants to receive it from the likes of Redoni and Woodyard, because he always wants to be dangerous. He wants to take his man 1v1 on the outside to either play a cross in or maybe take it upon himself to make a run inside. I mean, we saw Ryan Longman with a solo goal against Crew Alexandra earlier this season. It was an equalizer that he put in after we were down 1-0. It was about the 90th minute, and he was on that left side, beat his man, took a touch away from goal just to hook it back into that far post area. It was a brilliant equalizer there from Ryan Longman way back when. But, of course, Crew Alexandra managed to get a goal right after that. And I feel like that was maybe not the wake-up call for Wimbledon, but from what I remember, that was one of the last games that we had in terms of defensive woes. After that game, they were like, all right, screw it. I don't remember when they sacked... sorry, I'm going off on a tangent right now. I keep talking about several topics. But I don't remember when they sacked Glenn Hodges. I think it was around that time. When did they sack him? When exactly did they sack him? Let me look at the previous results. I want to see if that has anything to do with it, because I think it was after Hull. It was either after Hull or Shrewsbury. That's when he got sacked. And the Crew Alexandra game came well before that. It was like 4 or 5 games before the Hull game. So that was that Crew Alexandra. No, that was the 1-1 Crew Alexandra game, actually. Where was their second one in which they lost 2-1? I'm blind as a bat, guys. No, the 2-1 game came before the 1-1. My memory is actually foggy. But anyway, that was just an example I wanted to provide there. Ryan Longman, when he is around the top of the 18, and he's always looking to beat his man. He's always looking to be dangerous. So I'd say for potential substitutions for AFC Wimbledon, you keep Ryan Longman on, you keep Joe Pigott, even though Joe Pigott missed the penalty and really hasn't had the best half overall. I think you keep the Pigs until maybe the 60th minute, 65th minute. If nothing comes of that, then maybe... We don't have another striker, though, aside from maybe Shane Harrison. So maybe bring on Shane Harrison for Joe Pigott on the 65th, 70th minute if nothing comes. I know that's a bit of a hot take, as Joe Pigott is our main player. When you think of AFC Wimbledon, you think of Joe Pigott, but either coming on for Longman or Pigott, maybe Shane Harrison for some fresh legs, looked pretty good in that Senior Cup game, or Senior Cup game. I'm confusing the name of the league. And then maybe bring on a Shane McLaughlin, maybe change the formation up a little bit. Maybe instead of having two center mids, have two outside mids potentially. If you're not gonna, if you're gonna bring on Shane McLaughlin, maybe have him play on the right hand side, play Radoni on that left side, and play Asal, keep Asal on that center attacking mid position. So we'll see what happens going forward. I will get some breakfast, as I maybe part of the reason why my commentary hasn't been the most engaging was that I haven't eaten yet. So maybe I can give myself literally some food for thought, and we'll see what happens. So I'll be back. I took way too long. I took way too long. I took way too long. So initially, after the half, I went over to help my mom out with something. And then I made breakfast really quick. I'm like, gotta go. Okay, I'm here now, boys. All right, so let me rewind a little bit. Oh! Come on, Piggott. Plays it over to Asal. Asal at the top of the box. A defender comes back to track back, and Asal, that was the reason why he couldn't put it away. Hold on, let me go back a little bit further to see how that attack even started. It was a giveaway. Joe Piggott, it was a giveaway on that right-hand side. Joe Piggott was able to come away with it, but then Ayub Asal, unfortunately, 1v1 with the goalkeeper, but then the defender tracked back, so I have a feeling that Asal wanted to put that into the back of the net right away, or actually maybe take a touch around the goalkeeper, but then the defender for Ipswich recovered very beautifully there. It was number 6 number 21 Downs that came around and essentially helped out the goalkeeper there, and I think that was enough to put Ayub Asal off there. So I literally just came back. I'm like, guys, I'm late, and then as soon as I sit my ass down, I see Joe Piggott making a run down that right-hand side. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Okay. All right. Let's start for the Dons here to this second half. All right. Let's do it. Keep up the momentum. Keep up the pressure. Meanwhile, I'm going to sit back and eat my trademark ice cream and banana. It's been a while since I've actually eaten on stream, because the last couple games that I commentated over were games around, I think, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. UK time, which was around like 11 a.m. my time, so 11, 12 a.m. Anyway, Wimbledon knocking it forward on the right-hand side. Nice ball from Joe Piggott from an ensuing run from Jack Redoni. Takes a touch down the box and tries to hit it near post. It was a bit of a tough angle there, but initially that was a really nice ball played from Joe Piggott. This is a blinding start to the second half for AFC Wimbledon. Coming out guns blazing. That's what you like to see. That first half was kind of a snoozer, if I'm honest. It's a very nice off the ball there from Jack Redoni. His first touch was kind of away from goal though, so it kind of made it a little bit more difficult for him to get it on frame. And even if he did get it on frame, it was a bit of a tough task for him to put in the back of the net. Maybe challenge the keeper a little bit in that case if he did hit it on frame, but another decent opportunity there for AFC Wimbledon, and already they're coming out guns blazing. That's what you like to see. Anyway, Ipswich knocking it forward to Hawkins here on that right-hand side, defended by Will Nightingale. Back over to Vincent Young, I think that may be. Still knocking it around here. Ipswich, they're trying to find a way past that Wimbledon back line. And when I say back line, I mean everybody's behind the ball here. But it's a nice 1-2 played by Ward and somebody else. Ward is on the end of it, gets a cross in, headed away, not fully clear. Shot coming in from Hawkins was blocked, and then it finds it to Edwards, and Edwards did not get a very good shot off there, as it was a volley attempt, but he completely shanked it, and it was an easy collection there from Nick Zanev. Already, the first 5 minutes of this half are collectively much more interesting than the first 45 minutes of the first half, so that's what you like to see. Vincent Young plays a header through ball attempt forward, but instead it was cut off by one of our own, Will Nightingale. He's one of our own. He's one of our own. Can't wait to hear those chants when we finally have fans back at the stadium. I said that as if I were to have actually been to a few games. In reality, I haven't been to England, period. I haven't been to Europe, period. That's going to change, hopefully, this August, assuming that travel restrictions are not going to be too detrimental to me. That being said, though, Vincent Young finding himself on the ball and double teamed there by Asal and Nesta Guinness-Walker, but Nesta Guinness-Walker committed the foul as Vincent Young took a touch to his right side, looking to play the cross in, it looked like. So, free kick at the top of the 18-yard box here for Ipswich Town. They can bring their numbers up. They can bring in Wolfenden, McGuinness, and then Hawkins, of course, another target man for them. And this is looking like a bit of a precarious situation for Wimbledon, as Ipswich are very good in the air. And we'll see how well they can defend this. Free kick comes in. Very dangerous one, and the header came off the top of the crossbar, and that is a very dangerous chance. It looked to me like it was actually Joe Pigott that got that flick on. I think he was trying to head it away, but instead it was it's a corner kick for Ipswich Town. It was a good eye by the referee there to catch that it was Joe Pigott on the flick and not whoever that was intended for. So it's going to be a corner kick here for Ipswich. The danger has not passed. Corner kick is whipped in pretty low, though. Easy header clearance there by, it looked to me like it was Nesta Guinness-Walker on the near post. Danger still not clear, but Joe Pigott with a nice tackle there. Ipswich still in possession, though, as Joe Pigott didn't have full possession of it. He just tried to poke it away. And Ipswich still have the ball this time with Cornell all the way in the back of their own 18, though. Ball looped high and forward. Header there won by Will Nightingale. So let me get that Giazzo for you guys. That was a very dangerous opportunity there for the Town. Swindon are 5 down. What? What is this? What is this? I have to look at the standings because I think... You're not lying to me, are you? They're 5 down against the. Oh no, it's against MK Dons. Oh no, I looked at the standings. I saw 5-0 on. You know when you look up the standings on Google, you see the results on there, the live results. Yeah, they're down to MK Dons though. It's kind of bittersweet for me because Swindon losing this game essentially will kind of solidify their place in the bottom 4. And we'll make it, I guess, a little bit easier of a road for AFC Wimbledon. But, I mean, Swindon are poor, really. They lost 4 out of their last 5. I think 5 out of their last 6, I'm not sure. But, yeah, they're kind of poor. So I kind of expect them to go down. But, yeah. I didn't realize they were losing to the franchise, guys. I didn't mean to laugh at Swindon there. But, I mean, it's bittersweet for me. Anyway, Ipswich knocking around a little bit, and a decent effort there from number 21 for Ipswich, coming on as a substitute. No, I think he started out. Yeah, it was Downs with a long shot effort from about 22 yards out. Low and hard, kind of central though, and it could have been collected by Zanev, but instead it was deflected away. Ipswich still on the ball here though. I don't want my ice cream to melt. I got to start eating this. Ice cream and banana. I would highly recommend that. Maybe not for breakfast. That's just one of the things I like to have for breakfast. I know it sounds weird, but hey, if you think about it, one serving of ice cream actually has less sugar than your average cereal. So that's just the way I like to look at it. Okay. Maybe not your average cereal. If you have like cornflakes or Raisin Bran or something, there's not going to be that much sugar in it. But if you have like, I don't know, Trix cereal, Lucky Charms, Captain Crunch, all those crap cereals that are advertised to kids. That's going to have a buttload of sugar in them. Anyway, ball played over to the right-hand side to Vincent Young. He has been finding himself on the ball there quite often on the attack, and Nestle Walker was able to cut it off there. So danger is past, at least for now. It's going to be a throw-in for Ipswich. Ooh, nice little turn there by number... I don't know who that is for Ipswich, but it was a Dogra, I think. I heard on commentary. Yeah, Dobra coming on as a substitute. Dobra kind of made a little bit of a turn there towards the top of the box off of a ball from the right-hand side, but luckily it was cut off. Anyway, Jack Redoni playing a nice ball to the left-hand side to Ryan Longwood. Plays a little chip ball over to Joe Pigott. It was a little bit over his head, though, so he tried to knock it back in. Ayuba Sal trying to get on the end of that, but it was easily shrugged off by the defender there, and he was able to dribble it outside of the 18-yard box and draw the foul there. So nicely defended there by Bishop. He is the attacking mid, so he came back and helped out defensively for Ipswich. So nice to see a little bit of desire and determination from a certain individual that I guess Ipswich have been lacking lately. Ipswich have been lacking that passion and desire to really get after it. So I guess if you're an Ipswich fan out there, if you're someone like Alex Griffin, I'm sure you'd like to see that sort of that type of hustle there from Bishop shown there. This first half, though, has been, for the most part, controlled by AFC Wimbledon. Ipswich are knocking around still pretty decently. I think when I say the first 10 minutes have been controlled by Wimbledon, I mean the first 5 minutes. These last 5 minutes of the game or so, Ipswich have started to rebound a little bit, but yeah, I'm just looking at their body language right now. Nick Zanev just picked up the ball after a through ball attempt, and a lot of them, they just have their heads drop and they're jogging back. I don't know. I'm trying to read a little bit on the body language right now for Ipswich, because I didn't even realize until before this game, or actually when I saw the 3-0 loss to Northampton that Ipswich suffered. I'm like, what the hell's going on with them? So I kind of did a little bit more research, and I found that their players are really not playing with any sort of passion or conviction, and that the new manager, Paul Cook, has a lot to deal with. He has a handful. Tough job, I'd say, for Paul Cook, but I think he is, a good enough of a coach and, transparent and honest and somebody that's not going to beat around the bush like maybe Glyn Hodges did. When stuff was going wrong for Wimbledon, Glyn Hodges would be like, yeah, it was a poor effort, but I feel like the boys did enough to win, and they will move on to the next one. And I think the Dons are going to be, stuff like that, kind of beating around the bush a little bit, not getting to the heart of it like someone like Mark Robinson would. Mark Robinson is one of the most chill people you'll ever meet outside of the game, but within the game, he's not a fiery personality, but he's going to be, he's going to be strict when necessary, and that's something that has been missing with Glyn Hodges. And so Paul Cook is that character. He is a little bit more blunt and a little bit more brash than someone like Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson's a little more down to earth, but two very strong managers for two sides that are on completely different forms right now. AFC Wimbledon are like on the moon right now. They're absolutely living it up, while Ipswich are on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. They are, completely atrocious at the moment. This game, though, they're starting to pick it up. I think they're looking a lot better than the Northampton game. I only saw highlights of that game because, I don't have iFollow for Ipswich, but this is looking like an 8th place, 9th place, 10th place Ipswich side right now, rather than a 15th place Ipswich like we saw in the last 5 games. Anyway, Ipswich knocking around, top of the box, ball played in from Vincent Young, intended for Hawkins there, just barely over his head. It was nice. It was nicely contested, though, by, I think that was Ben Hennigan. Neither player actually Ben Hennigan might have clipped off the top of his head there, so it's going to be a corner kick for Ipswich. So it's going to be a corner kick for Ipswich. And I've talked about how Ipswich are good in the air. And so it was actually I looked back on it, it was actually Alex Woodyard contesting. It was Ben Hennigan close to the play there, but Alex Woodyard was the one who contested for that header. And anyway, the corner kick is swung in way over the head of everybody. I mean, it doesn't even reach the far post man. The far post man wasn't even able to run down the ball. That's just how high and looping that corner was, going all the way to the other end. COYD. That's all I have to say. COYD. I think in the end, my prediction was actually 2-1 to Wimbledon. I don't remember if I said that in the beginning of the stream, but I did make that prediction on Alex Griffin's pregame stream before. It was actually before he started his stream, but I said 2-1 Wimbledon. I know I did say it was while he was streaming. He was shouting people out, and I was like, oh, I think it'll be 2-1 Wimbledon from a Dons fan. Good luck to Ipswich. And a lot of people in the chat were either saying 4-0 Ipswich because, you know, they're kind of biased towards Ipswich, or they were saying like 3-0 Wimbledon, 3-1 Wimbledon, because those are the people that are probably thinking that Wimbledon would ride the momentum, continue to ride that 4-game win streak momentum, and that Ipswich right now, who are, anyway, Sal tried to play some off-the-ball pressure as there was a through ball intended for him, but he wasn't able to shrug off the center back there, McGuinness. McGuinness was able to hold the ball up there. But that's what you like to see from a Sal, even though he's not the most physical individual. He's always going to be trying to win the ball back, and whenever we're on the ball, he's always going to be looking for that off-the-ball run. I'd say he is one of the most convicted players in this team. He's always passionate, driven, looking to make a difference. Anyway, a substitution coming on for Ipswich, number 8, Cole Skuse. He has some gray hair. How old is he? He's got to be in his late 30s or something, because he looks like a fairly mature man, mature individual. I don't know that much about him, but all I know is that he has gray hair. So let's just say he's been there and done that. Long ball intended for Edwards. Zanev comes out. Sweeper keeper. Able to clear his lines. Not fully, though. It is going to be a throw-in for Ipswich around the 18-yard area. Ooh. I'm surprised Edwards took that shot on. As soon as the throw-in came in, Edwards took the shot on. It was blocked, but then another shot came in. Nicely beaten away by Nick Zanev on that far post. Decent opportunity there for Ipswich after the danger wasn't initially clear from that initial shot from Edwards. Now, Asal's going to be on the ball on that left-hand side, going to try to be dangerous. Comes forward, plays it to Woodyard in the center, who plays it over to Longman on the right. He's going to look to try to beat his man, but he is double-teamed, so he's forced to play it back over to Luke O'Neill. Luke O'Neill puts the ball into the box. Nobody on the end of that one. That might have been intended for Piggott or Rodoni, but it went over both of their heads, and Ayub Asal was not able to come away with that either, as it did kind of pass over his head. Maybe not over his head, but it was to the side of him there. So let me clip that little sequence, actually, because I found it surprising that Edwards took that shot on straight off of the throw-in. But, yeah, so throw-in came in, took the shot on, and was blocked. And yeah, it was a very nice stop there by Nick Zanev. It wasn't the most difficult save to make, but it was a good stop. He beat it away to his right-hand side, and no rebounds there from Ipswich. It's the save that you need to make in that instance, so good job there from Nick Zanev. Anyway, Woodyard gives it away to Edwards, and Edwards tried to... Edwards tried to shoot it from about 40 yards out, maybe try to catch Nick Zanev off of his line, but the shot was low and driven, didn't get underneath the ball, and Nick Zanev has had a little bit of trouble with that, with coming off of his line a little bit too much and tracking back. Had to make a couple of tip-over saves last time out against Oxford. But yeah, anyway, it was a nice save there from Nick Zanev to his right-hand side. I will post that Giazzo right now. This half is really opened up, I gotta say. A lot more exciting, a lot more entertaining, a lot more engaging than that first half. Anyway, Joe Pigott with the holdup. Intended for Longman with the left-footed curler attempt from outside the 18. Blocked. Wimbledon still with the ball, though. O'Neill gave it away, though, as the pass from Dobson was a little bit ahead of him, so O'Neill tried to slide and pick that up. But unfortunately, Luke O'Neill's not able to track back quick enough. It looks to me like Edwards tried to put... Yeah, Edwards went down that left-hand side, tried to put the cross in, but Ben Hennigan defended that beautifully, able to get stuck in to prevent the cross. The ball came off of Edwards' foot, but only for about a meter or two before it got blocked by Ben Hennigan. So nicely done there by Hennigan to come in and block that. Ipswich still with the ball here in the back line. Tries to lump it forward, but nothing doing there. Nestiganis Walker able to see the ball out for a goal kick for Ipswich. You know, I wouldn't be too upset here with a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw or draw in general. But, you know, considering that Northampton and Swindon are both losing their games, Northampton's still 1-0 down against Gillingham. But at the same time, I wouldn't be 100% satisfied, as I think this is definitely a game that the Dons could take. Joe Pigott with the hold-up, plays Ayuba Sal, nice through ball. Sal wasn't able to get around the goalkeeper, though the goalkeeper came out really quickly off of his line. It was very nicely defended by the goalkeeper, and then it bounced off of Sal, so it's going to be a goal kick there for Ipswich. I thought for sure they'd at least get a corner kick off of that. But, I mean, it was something out of nothing there from Wimbledon. I mean, there was a goal kick from Zanev, and then all of a sudden, you know, Joe Pigott winning the header, and then all of a sudden he's running forward with blinding speed. And then he plays a nice little through ball to Ayuba Sal, but Ayuba Sal wasn't able to convert that opportunity there. It was something out of nothing. Joe Pigott didn't win the header. He won a knockdown with either his chest or his foot, and then all of a sudden he was making a run towards the 18. I'm like, where'd that come from? But nice to see Joe Pigott with a little bit more confidence as the first half kind of he let himself down really in that first half. Especially with that penalty kick miss. His first miss of the season, to be fair. He is 4 for 5. But nice to see that Joe Pigott is not letting his head drop low from that first half showing. Gotta finish my ice cream. It's already melted at this point. I'm only halfway through it, so... It is what it is. Ooh, nice ball played over to the right-hand side to Ryan Longman. Taking on his man one-on-one. Takes it to his left foot, but instead it was Sal that kind of just took the shot off instead of Longman kind of stealing his shot attempt. But to be fair, there was somebody running in there. And he was about to poke it away. So Sal tried to take it on with his left foot. The shot was blocked. And now there's going to be a free kick at the top of the box for AFC Wimbledon. As Alex Woodyard was taking on 2 different players there. Was able to hold off both of them. So nice to see that physicality and strength being exhibited there by Alex Woodyard. Able to draw the foul from about 23, 24 yards out. This is a very good position for Joe Pigott to strike it. Right around the middle. Right around that center line. Maybe a little bit closer to the right-hand side. Joe Pigott would prefer it to be on the left side of the center so that he can curl it to that top corner. So we could potentially see a shot coming in here for Jack Redoni instead with a curler towards that near post. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised to see Joe Pigott taking this one. We also see Luke O'Neill standing over this. I highly doubt he's going to take this. It's going to be Joe Pigott. Decent effort there towards that far post, actually, left-hand side, beaten away by the goalkeeper. Danger is not clear, though, with Nestiganis Walker on that left side. He is forced to reset it, though, to George Dobson. Dobson tries to switch it over, does switch it over successfully to Luke O'Neill. Nice first touch there by Longman on the turn, able to beat McGuinness. Gets... No, he doesn't get brought down. Actually, he brings down the ensuing defender there. So it was a good free kick there by Joe Pigott, and after that a good follow-up play and very nice first touch there by Ryan Longman to get inside the box, but unfortunately his second touch, I think, was what let him down. Yeah, he did commit the foul there, Ryan Longman. Northampton 2 down. All right, that's solid. That's solid. Good to hear. As long as AFC Wimbledon can hold this result, I think we'll get an up over Northampton and Swindon, as they are losing right now. Jack Redoni, blistering run on that left-hand side, tries to play Ryan Longman, but the header was flicked backwards by McGuinness. And they're able to come away with it. Northampton. Ipswich. Oof. Vincent Young tries to thread the ball forward to, I think that was Bishop making the run. Didn't find him, though. Ooh, Nick Zanev. Ooh, the ball was played back to him. His first touch was heavy to that left-hand side as somebody was pressuring him on the right-hand side of him. I think that was... couldn't tell who that was, actually. Putting the pressure on Nick Zanev there. Number 25. Aaron Driren coming in as a substitute earlier in the game, putting the pressure on Nick Zanev and almost picking his pocket off, but Zanev was able to get a quick little clearance with his left foot. Nice reaction there from Zanev. Anyway, we've got a couple substitutions. We got Shane McLaughlin coming in for Luke O'Neill. Shane McLaughlin and Che Alexander coming off. Che Alexander coming on for Luke O'Neill. And it looks to me like it's going to be Nesta Guinness-Walker for Ayoub Assal. Take nothing away from Ayoub Assal just because he's being substituted. He had a very good half, very active, very spry, always looking to be dangerous for Wimbledon. Unfortunately, though, not the most clinical when he did receive the ball towards the inside of the 18. But overall, I think it's a 7 out of 10 game for Ayoub Assal. Here we go. Corner kick now. Che Alexander to take his first touch on the ball. Can it be an assist? We shall see. That's a really good ball from Alexander. Joe Pigott wins the first header, but it was a good ball, but it was a little bit high and looping towards that back post, and Pigott wasn't able to get a good enough of a leap on that on the top of the 6. And it went straight high and up in the air. Ipswich were able to clear their lines.
We have Vincent Young back as well. You can have every one of our players if you really want them. Is Suffolk, Ipswich a decent place to live? I've only lived in Manchester when I was in England. It is and it isn't, mate, to be fair. I wouldn't really...
Actually, I have a friend...
I'll let you answer that. What was the question?
I was listening to Alex Griffin on commentary. I actually have a friend that lives in Suffolk. I don't know if you heard that. Alex Griffin's friend, I don't know who that is on the commentary, but he's like, Suffolk, Ipswich is a really nice area to live in. I have a friend from Suffolk, actually, but he's a Tottenham fan. I'm like, how'd you become a Tottenham fan if you're from Suffolk? Shouldn't you support, like, Norwich or Ipswich or something? Oh! And he was saying how his family supports Tottenham, so... It was a ball played up to Jack Redoni all the way back from Ben Hennigan, and Jack Redoni almost got on the end of that one, but it was Cornell who played sweeper-keeper there. So nicely done by Cornell, so it's going to be a throw-in here for AFC Wimbledon. Throw-in from Joe Pigott to Jack Redoni, trying to thread it through down that goal line, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the cross off. Maybe one touch too many, got his pocket picked, and now it's going to be Ipswich on the ball here. Unfortunately, the iFollow was showing a replay as Ipswich did a short free kick, so I'm guessing the person on the graphics didn't expect that. And it goes from free kick from Ipswich to Nick Zanev has the ball in his hands. Here's the Zell. Dobra tries to play it over to Vincent Young on that right side. Ryan Longman is all the way back defending, though. But Ipswich are still on the ball here. Nicely cut out by Alex Woodyard, tracking back and getting a foot on that, getting a little bit of a poke. And now, well, Ipswich win the ball back after Shane McLaughlin gives it away. Outside on the left side to Ward. Plays it back to Dizelle. Nice little 1-2 play by Dizelle and Edwards. And Dizelle tries to play it into the box over the head of Downs, but Downs is able to pick it back up. Defended here by Nesta Guinness-Walker. They're forced to reset all the way back to Cole Skuse in that center defensive mid kind of role there. Here's Ward once again on that left side. Tries to play a little bit of a through ball to Edwards, but it's defended and seen away by Shane McLaughlin, able to shield it off. It is going to be a goal kick for AFC Wimbledon. Game's kind of fallen out a little bit in terms of entertainment. The first 15-20 minutes of the game were very entertaining. AFC Wimbledon coming out from the gates right away in the first 5 minutes, coming up with a couple of decent opportunities. But it looks to me like the game has kind of slowed down a little bit. Yeah, Ipswich created a couple of chances themselves, too. There was one instance in which Nick Zanev was forced to go down to his right-hand side off of a far post shot from inside the 18. Nicely defended by George Dobson off of this run. Very nice defending there from George Dobson as number 25 for Ipswich was on the left-hand side trying to work his way around him, but George Dobson came in sliding in, preventing the cross, and ended up coming away with it for a second before he got picked off, and now it's going to be a throw in here for Ipswich. Alex Woodyard there defending very nicely. Oh, it's a nice ball played over the top to the right-hand side. Defended by Guinness-Walker, but Guinness-Walker got beat on that right side. It was a good opportunity there for Ipswich. I couldn't pick out who it was individually that received the ball there. But it was a really nice ball played over the top by, I think that was Wolfenden. Yeah, I can't confirm that was Armando Dobra coming off of the bench there. He was on the receiving end of that ball played over the top from Wolfenden, and did end up beating Nesta Guinness-Walker, but the cross was a flashy one. It was a very strong cross, about knee height though. Maybe a little bit disappointing if you're Dobra there. Maybe either make it head height or play it on the ground. It was a fizzing cross there. Nobody from Ipswich were able to get on the end of that one. And now AFC Wimbledon trying to knock it around here, but unfortunately gives it away. There's an opportunity there for Ipswich. That's what you like to see if you're an Ipswich fan. Oof, nice little ball played over to the right-hand side here to Vincent Young, and now back to Armando Dobra once again on the ball. Tries to play a cross low and hard. It was deflected away. And now it's going to be Alex Woodyard with the ball. And they're just playing it around, knocking around a little bit. Alex Woodyard, I'm sorry, not Alex Woodyard. Oh, shit. It was Ryan Longman that gave it away. He got his pocket picked from behind. To be fair, I don't think he saw the man behind him. I think it was Vincent Young that poked it away. And then a little bit of an opportunity there for Ipswich. And low and hard shot in the near post. Kind of a routine stop there from Nick Zanev after a little bit of knocking around after Longman gave it away there. Decent stop there from Nick Zanev to get down to his low left-hand side in the near post. You usually do not want to see your keeper giving away near post shots like that. So Nick Zena with a couple of decent stops so far in this game. Hasn't been tested too much, but when he has been tested, he has passed those tests with flying colors. I'm trying to think of any other substitutions we can make right now, because we only made 2 so far. Che Alexander and Shane McLaughlin, respectively. I feel like maybe you can bring on a Shane and Harrison for these last maybe 10 minutes or so. Maybe take Ryan Longman off. Even though he has been dangerous in flashes, I still feel like maybe bringing on a Shane and Harrison could certainly benefit the Dons here for a set of fresh legs, potentially. Yeah, they are missing out on Ollie Palmer, not on the team sheet. Ethan Chislett still recovering from his Achilles injury. He's on the tail end of that recovery, though, so expect him to be back very shortly. Terrell Thomas, coming off of his lung infection, is going to be returning very shortly, I'd imagine. He did play in that Senior Cup game, even if it was only for a short period of time, so nice to see that some of our players are coming back from injury. Oh, it was a nice tackle there by, I think that was Armando Dobra, picking off George Dobson from behind and getting the ball successfully. Somehow not fouling George Dobson there. It was a nice tackle. Anyway, on that left-hand side, it was Edwards that was able to cut inside the double team from Che Alexander and Alex Woodyard, and he does get fouled just barely outside of the 18-yard box. Tactical foul, if you will. I'll look back to see if that foul was intentional or if it was just Woodyard. Woodyard kind of pushed him a little bit from behind there. To be fair, that was a very nice foul, even if he will take the yellow card. Very tactical foul. That was way up and over the bar there from Edwards. I think that was who did commit the foul. Yeah, Edwards. Who drew the foul was the one who took the free kick, and that went way over to the moon, guys. That wasn't even close. You'll be disappointed there if you're an Ipswich fan. Alex Griffin on commentary.
It's time to come to an end. What is he doing? What have I just watched?
What is he doing? That was terrible. I just wanted to show you a little bit of reaction there. In the beginning, I said, I don't want to be that person where I'm not making fun of him. I'm having a little bit of a laugh because he's a cool guy. I am subscribed to him. I subscribed to him just yesterday after I saw some of his videos, some of his reactions to Ipswich dropping some points and whatnot. Very funny stuff. He's a very entertaining individual. Anyway, Jack Redoni on that right-hand side trying to be dangerous, trying to maybe thread the needle down that goal line, but unfortunately he was muscled away for a goal kick. But anyway, yeah, it's free advertising too, even though I'm not nearly as well known as someone like Alex Griffin. I feel like, show a little clip of Alex Griffin on my stream. Free advertising. Go check him out if you'd like. He's an Ipswich fan, and like I already mentioned before, as if I didn't already say that before. But yeah, he's a very entertaining YouTuber, to say the least. Longman plays it over to, usually it's Joe Piggott in the box there, but instead he was the one that was the recipient of that pass from Ryan Longman on the right-hand side. The cross from Joe Piggott was blocked. I need to drink some water because I am dehydrated. And when I'm dehydrated, my voice cracks a lot. 2-2, Gillingham and Northampton. What in the hell happened there? They were down 2-0 Northampton. All of a sudden, they pulled something out of nothing. Thank you for letting me know that. Sometimes I get too invested in the game. So for those of you guys that want to, keep me updated on the results around the league and whatnot, do go ahead and do so. Anyway, okay. It was Joe Piggott on the knockdown there from the corner kick. Ipswich tried to clear their lines, not far enough, and then Alex Woodyard with a attempt from outside the box, way over the bar, though. I think the ball kind of bounced up on him. Yeah, the ball bounced up on him. He tried to get it on the half volley and wasn't able to catch that with enough. Just wasn't able to catch it sweetly at all. So Ipswich are now on the ball here, trying to knock it around a little bit with Vincent Young and with Dozel. High and looping ball intended for Bishop, I think that was. Or did he come off? I don't quite remember, because usually Google updates you on who came on and who came off, but not this time. Oh, that's because I didn't refresh. Usually it does it. It refreshes itself, but yeah, Bishop already came off a long time ago. So thank you, Google, for not updating your shit. Hawkins already came off a long time ago. I think Caden Jackson is now playing as that striker. Hold up play here for Piggott. Holds the ball up on the top of the 18. Tries to play George Dobson. George Dobson took a touch towards goal with his left foot. And again, another shank. This time via the hands of George Dobson. Another instance in which maybe was a bit difficult for him. That ball was also kind of bouncing a little bit. And shanked it over the bar. I'd be content with a 0-0 here, to be honest. Unfortunately, though, Wigan, Northampton, Rochdale are also currently drawing their respective games. But, as long as they keep level, as long as AFC Wimbledon keep level with the teams below them, they'll be okay, because the teams below them all have a game in hand, except for Rochdale. AFC Wimbledon have a game in hand over them, except for Rochdale. And time is of the essence. Time is running out for the teams below AFC Wimbledon. So if Wimbledon can keep level with those teams, I think they'll be just okay. I was about to say just right. I have a friend who always says that was just right. But yeah, I think they'll be okay. Anyway, Che Alexander plays it over to Joe Piggott, who tries to play a hold-up play, but unfortunately the pass was a little bit inaccurate. He wasn't able to get a touch on the ball. And it's going to be cleared away. Still going to be a throw-in for the Dons, though, still in possession. And we'll see how they approach these last few minutes. Are they going to try to eat up clock and seal the win? Nice first touch from Radoni, though, with his left foot to take a touch down the line off of a pass from Che Alexander there. So good first touch. The ball, unfortunately, was not able to find anybody on the other end, and Ipswich clear their lines. But I think Wimbledon are just going to be content to see this game out. Kind of unfortunate, as I feel like this game was winnable, especially against a down and defeated Ipswich team. To be fair, though, Ipswich, they didn't play like a pub team. Alex Griffin made a joke on his stream, and they were saying, "Oh, we're losing to a pub team," but then again, it seems to me like we're the pub team now. I think that was his friend that said, "Oh, well, looks to me like we're the pub team now." But yeah, very winnable game for Wimbledon, but I think this could be the start of a new era for Ipswich. I think if they can just ride this draw and then maybe go forward and maybe win a game or two. I don't think Ipswich are going to make that top 6. I think it's maybe a little too late for them. Although Charlton are losing 1-0 to Peterborough. Peterborough are a decent side, so nothing to be upset about in that regard. Blackpool losing to Shrewsbury 1-0 though, so that's a bit of a tough one for Blackpool to swallow. So I still think Ipswich could maybe make a run towards that top 6, but I think there's just too many question marks for Ipswich, really. I don't think that they have enough in the tank, but you never know. If they can string a couple wins together, you never know in this league. As for AFC Wimbledon, I already mentioned. I still think they'll be sitting pretty. They're 5 points clear of Northampton with a game in hand. Northampton are the topmost relegation side. I think they'll be fine. As long as you don't drop a point here, though. Launched high and forward to... Oh, okay, offside there. I think that ball was intended for Aaron Dreenan, I think that was coming up. But unfortunately, he was in an offside position. I think that might be like the 6th or 7th offside call. Yeah, 6th offside here for Ipswich. So, like I've mentioned earlier in the stream, AFC Wimbledon holding a very decent line. High line, a lot higher of a line than what I'm used to seeing, but they've been defending very well. Their defending has been, what's the word for it? I can't think of the word right now. Disciplined, yeah. Disciplined line. Crew Alexandra, you said, come on, Crew. Who are they playing right now? Oh, yeah, they're playing Rochdale. Yeah, Rochdale is on a 3-game win streak right now. They have found the fountain of youth alongside AFC Wimbledon and Wigan Athletic. All three of those teams, respectively, going on a 3+ win streak going into this match week. So the relegation battle really heating up lately. And it makes it all the more important and all the more relieving that AFC Wimbledon were on this 4-game win streak going into this one. So ball lumped high towards Piggott. Unfortunately, wasn't able to win the header there. Now Ipswich are on the ball here. Skews over to Vincent Young. Yeah, Ipswich are just knocking around. I think Ipswich are also, I wouldn't say content with a draw because, I think a win is a lot more important for Ipswich at this rate than Wimbledon, I'd say. If Ipswich want to make that top 6, while Wimbledon, they're comfortable with maybe 4 points every 2 games, or maybe a draw, win, draw, or something, and they'll probably be safe. Yeah, another offside here for Ipswich, as Ward looked to me like he was trying to play somebody in, but another offside call for Ipswich, the 7th of the game. And a little bit of frustration building for Ipswich, I'd say. I think this draw favors Wimbledon a little bit more than Ipswich at this rate. And I'm not fully content with the draw, but I'll take it. Maybe not the most exciting game in the world, but it is what it is. I'm going to be, here for Wimbledon through the good days, the bad days, the ugly, the neutral. I'm going to be there through thick and thin. That being said, I think the referee will blow the final whistle here. It's going to be a 0-0 draw. Not much to comment on here. Not much to say about the game. I'm gonna leave it to Alex Griffin to share his thoughts.
That's the clock. We've got a bit of time. We can get to it a bit earlier, couldn't we?
Well, we ain't got that long.
Huh?
We ain't got that long.
We not? What time is he coming? 1:45.
Alex is like, oh, we can still make this top 6, right? And his friend is like, nah, fam, nah. We don't have time. We're not going to do this. We're not going to be able to do this.
Which one's after winning a game and me looking up a 5?
Yeah. I thought it'd be Alex who was going to be like, oh, no, this is it. I thought he was going to be the pessimistic one. But he was like, oh, we could still do this, right? His friend just immediately shot him down like, nope. Ipswich are not going to make that top 6. But anyway, AFC Wimbledon 0. Or I should say Ipswich 0. AFC Wimbledon 0. I'd say, if I were to give a man of the match here, Ben Hennigan. I think Ben Hennigan was very solid in that back line. Won a few headers defensively. Ben Hennigan is my man of the match. I feel like he did a very good job in that back line, was an anchor in the back, and prevented Ipswich from really creating anything. So him, and I'd say maybe Alex Woodyard. Alex Woodyard also did pretty well defensively. Was able to come away with a couple of interceptions. not really too attacking minded today. I think him and Dobson were more focused on the defensive side. Every now and again, we do see Woodyard going up in the attack and providing for the Dons on the attacking front, but him and Woodyard were very defensive today. And, two very important pieces today for keeping that clean sheet. Nick Zanev with a couple of decent stops himself. And, let's take a look at some other results around the league before I end this stream. Crew Alexander scored. That's very nice to see. And that's going to assist Wimbledon a little bit in keeping their keeping their, I shouldn't say post relegation, but their hopes of staying in League One alive. Rochdale are now losing. Is the 3-game win streak going to come to an end for Rochdale? It looks to me like it will. 90 plus 4 minutes here. Crew Alexander looks slated to come away with this victory. It looks to me like Wigan and Burton are still equalized at 1-1. Northampton still 2-2 with Gillingham. And it's going to come to a full-time whistle there. So full-time 2-2 Northampton Gillingham. I'm going to keep a little bit of a hawk eye on that Wigan and Burton game. Maybe something could come of the last minute or so. You never know in this league. You never know in this game of football. Unfortunately, Google does not show live play-by-play. They only show substitutions and goals. But 90 plus 6 for Wigan and Burton. Looks to me like Rochdale and Crew is still going on, surprisingly. A lot of added time here for both those games, respectively. Yeah, I think these two teams or these two matches are gonna finish the way they are. Looks to me like I don't want to sit here all day. Come on, people. Come on, ref. Blow the final whistle. Yeah, awkward silence. But anyway, I'd say, do I think that either team deserved to win? By the way, Ipswich or Wimbledon. No, I think if you were to point a gun to my head, I'd say Wimbledon deserved to win. I'd say they created a couple more clear-cut chances. Both of them have a similar stat line in regards to the shots on frame, the shots in general. 11 shots, 2 on target for Ipswich. Actually, 18 shots and 5 on target for AFC Wimbledon. A few more shots and shots on target for AFC Wimbledon. Ipswich with a little bit more possession, but possession can only tell you so much. So, the Dons did decent enough not to lose. I feel like they could have won had they taken their chances. Jack Redoni in the 10th minute, man. Jack Redoni had a monumental opportunity in that 10th, 12th minute area. Left foot, kind of had that left-hand side of the goal kind of free